In today's video, I am going to be breaking down Malik Beasley and how he shoots the basketball, his shooting form, and we can all learn ourselves how to shoot the basketball better if we check out NBA players. So let's get down and let's check them out. Okay, so first let's look at his base and let's see what his base tells us. Well, when he's taking that drive and then that quick snatch back, step back, what do we really see? Well, first off, we can see that his shoulders are in line with his toes, but his knees do extend further out. He is looking at the rim, which is extremely important. However, we can see that he does have a slight tilt on his body. The one thing that does tell us is that he's tilting because he wants to be able to get his shoulder and elbow in line with the rim. That's why some players will shoot with a tilt. When you shoot with a tilt, what you really want to do is make sure that everything is tilted in the exact same direction. The reason for that is if you've got your feet tilted, but your knees going straight, and then you've got your shoulders tilted as well, and then you've got other things misaligned, what's going to happen is you're going to be missing your shot most likely a lot of times. If you're going to have a tilt, you want everything to be at the exact same tilt. Because the ultimate goal is to get that shoulder and elbow in line with the rim, and by having a tilt, that will help most players. He does have really good energy transfer. He extends his legs at the same time as leaving the ground. Some players have that mistimed, which will throw off your shot and give you kind of a weird hitch. So by extending the knees and hips both at the exact same time, you will be able to transfer more power up into your shot. Also, having very little movement when it comes to your elbow and your wrist going up from your gather up into your set point will allow you to have a lot smoother of a shot. This is also a two-motion shot which will decrease his power but will be using more of his upper body to take that shot. We can also see that his offhand that he does have a slight thumb flick, and that is shown to us by the palm facing the rim, but also his thumb facing close towards the rim as well. We can also see that he has a hard release, very similar to a Michael Jordan, which will give him more backwards rotation on that shot, but generally speaking, less arc. And we can see that in this clip. That ball really only gets just slightly higher than that backboard, while some players like Curry tend to have a little bit of a higher arc on their shot. Now, the higher arc on your shot will help that ball drop in much easier. Because we have to remember that with the ball with less arc, we'll see the rim like this, while a ball with a lot of arc will see the rim like this. That higher arc will give you a larger target to shoot at. However, Malik Beasley is a very good shooter as it is. When it comes to his step backs, he goes a lot towards his left side, and this is smart. Even though he is really still slightly leaning his body towards the right to slow his momentum towards that left side, we can see that from every other player and every single player who takes a shot, if they step back to the left side and they are a right-handed player, that right-handed shot is going to be going off much faster because you're already in line with your elbow and shoulder aligned to the rim. Now, his hand placement is slightly different than many other players. Malik Beasley's hand placement is more on top of the ball. Many players will have it more on the side so that they can have less chance of a thumb flick as we see here. Now, that thumb flick actually kind of helps him. So what that thumb flick does here is it releases before the ball releases from the player's hands. You don't want to have a thumb flick at the exact same time as release because that can mess up your shot. If you find that you're not shooting with any backspin, it could be from a nasty thumb flick, and that would be something that you would be trying to get rid of. However, if you're releasing your thumb flick before that ball is released from your shooting hand, then it's not going to really affect it negatively. However, in this case, it's affecting it positively because it's moving that ball from the middle of the forehead where it's not lined up with that shoulder or upper arm into a release where now it's got half that ball over top of the upper arm. That thumb flick pushes that ball slightly towards the right, which will allow him to have that perfect alignment, and he has backspin as we can see, so he is not having that thumb flick negatively affect that shot. And we can see that when he does do a sidestep out towards his right side, he's kicking his right leg out, and that will help his right side get in line. When it comes to release, we can see that he has a 2-finger release. That's a pointer and middle finger there. He actually slightly curves down his other fingers before he releases, which is really interesting. And we can see right there that he slightly flicks out towards that right side, which could be compensating for the fact that that ball is a little bit closer to the body than what is usually looked upon as good from shooting coaches. And we can see that when he goes up from his gather up into his shot, his set point is roughly right in front of his forehead. And when he goes up for his shot, he has 90 degrees on his shoulder and about 45 degrees on his elbow. Generally, the closer to 90 degrees, the faster your shot is going to be. However, with players who are closing out to try to block you, you want to have the highest set point possible, and having that 45-degree angle on your elbow will help you do that because it will promote a higher release. And we can see that split finger release right there as well. I hope that this video helps you shoot the basketball better. If it does, hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys again next time.